The Philippines is rewriting Asia's energy map with a refinery that could shift global power forever. In this video, we're going to look at how Limay Island in the Philippines is becoming a game changer in the oil refining industry. From advanced AI tech to sustainable practices, this refinery is transforming the country's energy future and reducing its dependence on imports. Please subscribe to the channel for more update. But beyond economics, this shift is unsettling powerful nations like the US and China. Join me as we unpack how this quiet revolution impacts geopolitics, the environment, and the future of Southeast Asia. To really grasp what's unfolding, it's important to understand the energy hurdles the Philippines has faced for decades. The country is an archipelago spread across thousands of islands, with very limited natural energy resources. Because of this, the Philippines has had to depend heavily on importing fuel to power its homes, industries, and transportation systems. This dependence has been a double-edged sword. While it ensured energy availability, it also left the country exposed to global oil market shocks. The price of oil has always been unpredictable, swinging wildly due to geopolitical conflicts, supply chain disruptions, or natural disasters. Every time oil prices soar, the costs ripple through the economy, hitting everything from the price of electricity to the cost of everyday goods. For millions of Filipinos, this means fluctuating expenses and an unstable economic environment. Currently, the Philippines imports nearly 90% of its crude oil, mainly from major oil producers like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and increasingly China. This heavy reliance means any disruption, whether political or economic, in these supplier countries can immediately affect the Philippines' energy security. Natural disasters such as typhoons, which the country experiences frequently, can also delay shipments, adding to the vulnerability. This vulnerability has driven both the government and private sectors to prioritize energy independence. But what does energy independence truly entail? It's more than just producing fuel locally. It's about controlling every step of the process, from extracting or importing crude oil to refining it and finally distributing usable fuel. Having control over the full supply chain reduces reliance on external parties. This not only stabilizes prices and availability, but also strengthens the nation's sovereignty and bargaining power on the global stage. Let's zoom in on the heart of this transformation. Limay, a relatively small island located in the province of Bataan, just west of Metro Manila. For decades, Limay has been home to oil refining activities. But in recent years, it has undergone a remarkable transformation. The Philippine government, partnering with both local and international energy firms, has poured billions of pesos into upgrading Limay's facilities, turning it into a state-of-the-art oil refining center. What started as a traditional refinery has morphed into a cutting-edge industrial complex equipped with the latest technology to boost capacity and efficiency. A major milestone came in 2024 with the launch of the Limay Refinery expansion project. This ambitious upgrade dramatically increased the facility's ability to process crude oil, pushing daily capacity to over 300,000 barrels. To put that in perspective, this capacity ranks Limay as one of the largest and most modern refineries in Southeast Asia. What makes Limay's transformation stand out isn't just its scale. The project is also pioneering in its focus on sustainability and technological innovation. Unlike many older refineries that rely on outdated and polluting methods, Limay incorporates advanced digital tools and environmentally friendly processes. This combination is setting new regional standards, signaling a shift toward greener, smarter energy production. YM is more than just a refinery. Limay's rapid rise as a refining powerhouse is rooted in its use of cutting-edge technology and commitment to efficiency, safety, and sustainability. At the heart of its success are advanced hydrocracking units that convert heavy crude oil into high-quality fuels like diesel and jet fuel, meeting growing demand while maximizing output from each barrel. The refinery also employs digital twin technology and exact virtual replica of the entire plant. This allows engineers to simulate processes, optimize performance, and detect problems before they occur, ensuring smooth and efficient operations. Additionally, Limay uses AI-powered predictive maintenance systems. These constantly monitor equipment conditions and schedule repairs before breakdowns happen, reducing downtime and enhancing safety. Environmental responsibility is another key focus. Limay operates advanced sulfur recovery units that remove harmful compounds from fuel. helping it meet strict global emission standards. Energy-efficient systems also cut their refinery's carbon footprint, further reinforcing its green credentials. By combining hydrocracking, digital twins, AI systems, and environmental technology, Lim has become not only one of the most advanced refineries in the region, but also a blueprint for how oil refining can evolve in a digital and eco-conscious age. Let's look at why this refinery makes Western powers uneasy. Here's where it gets really interesting. For decades, Western countries, especially the United States, have held considerable sway over Southeast Asia's energy sector. The US viewed the region as a strategic partner, partly because it controlled many key energy routes and refining operations, which gave it significant geopolitical leverage. The rise of the Lim refinery challenges this long-established order. By boosting domestic refining capacity, the Philippines is reducing its dependence on refined fuel imports, many of which have historically passed through Western-controlled networks. This shift represents a move toward greater autonomy and self-reliance. From Washington's perspective, this development is unsettling. Energy independence in Manila means the Philippines can resist external pressure tactics such as sanctions or supply costs more effectively. This growing self-sufficiency signals Manila's intention to chart a foreign policy path less dominated by Western influence, complicating the US's strategic calculations in the region. The Philippines is carefully navigating its energy strategy amid China's growing influence in Southeast Asia. Through the Belt and Road Initiative, China has heavily invested in regional infrastructure, including energy, aiming to expand its geopolitical reach. Despite this, the expansion of the Limmer refinery is being funded by a mix of local and international investors, not solely Chinese. This shows the Philippines' effort to avoid relying too much on any single foreign power. While the country still imports crude oil from China, boosting domestic refining reduces dependence on Chinese fuel products. This strategy allows Manila to balance relations with both the US and China while preserving its strategic autonomy. How one island may change Asia's future. Lim isn't just another industrial project. It's a bold move toward energy independence that could redefine the Philippines' future. This push is more than economic. It's about sovereignty. By controlling its energy production, the Philippines shields itself from volatile global markets and asserts its strategic identity in Southeast Asia. Refining crude oil domestically through the Lim facility helps cut down fuel import costs that translates into lower prices for transportation, electricity, and manufacturing, critical sectors for a growing economy. More importantly, it protects the country from global price shocks that have crippled many developing nations in the past. But LM also brings social and economic transformation. It creates thousands of skilled jobs in engineering, logistics, and environmental sciences. These roles contribute to building a modern, knowledge-based economy while uplifting local communities. Beyond economics, Limay shifts the Philippines' role on the regional stage. No longer just a fuel importer, the country is positioning itself as a potential exporter of refined petroleum products. This development puts the Philippines in direct competition with energy giants like Singapore and Malaysia, giving it greater influence in regional trade and energy discussions. In short, Lim could be the island that changes everything. For decades, global oil refining has been controlled by giants like Saudi Arabia, Russia, the US, Singapore, and South Korea. These nations have shaped prices, access, and market direction. But now, Limay in the Philippines is quietly shifting this balance. Though it won't replace global heavyweights, Lim is on track to refine over 300,000 barrels per day by the end of 2025. That's enough to meet local demand and generate export surplus. This growing capacity positions the Philippines as a rising energy player in Southeast Asia. Countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Thailand, all facing refinery constraints, may soon rely on Lim for fuel imports. This enhances regional energy cooperation and intensifies competition. International oil traders and investors are taking note. Lay is influencing decisions on trade routes, fuel hubs, and partnerships. A single island is now reshaping energy strategies across Asia. Confronting the environmental challenge, can growth be green? Of course, any industrial development of this scale raises inevitable questions. What about the environment? Can a refinery, especially one growing so quickly, really operate sustainably? This is where Lim again breaks from the norm. Unlike many aging refineries that treat sustainability as an afterthought, Lim's modern design includes solar arrays, and wind turbines have been installed on site to power parts of their refinery, reducing its dependence on fossil-generated electricity. It's an approach that blends fossil fuel refining with renewable energy, a hybrid model increasingly seen as the bridge between today's energy needs and tomorrow's cleaner future. LMI also complies with Euro 5 and Euro 6 fuel standards, some of the strictest in the world. These standards reduce the amount of sulfur and nitrogen oxide in fuels, minimizing their environmental impact when used in vehicles or power generation. By designing with sustainability in mind, the Philippines is setting a precedent that emerging economies can grow their energy sectors responsibly without choosing between progress and the planet. The story of Lim is deeply tied to the global rivalry between the United States and China. Historically, the US has considered the Philippines a vital ally in Asia, with military, political, and economic bonds shaping their relationship. However, Manila is now signaling a shift toward greater independence, especially in the energy sector, suggesting it will no longer automatically align with Washington. At the same time, while China has made significant investments in the Philippines, it hasn't dominated the Lima project. Instead, the Philippines is diversifying its partnerships, working with Japan, South Korea, the UAE, and Europe, proving that Limay isn't just a refinery. It's a bold strategic move. So, what's next for Lim in the Philippines? Looking ahead, the Lim refinery marks just the beginning of the Philippines' energy transformation. The government is actively working to expand refining capacity by attracting private investment, revising energy regulations, and offering tax incentives to foreign partners. The next phase focuses on renewable energy. New facilities for biofuels, green hydrogen, and solar integration are in the pipeline, aiming to build a future yet proof energy ecosystem that meets demand while reducing environmental impact. International partnerships are also a priority with ongoing talks